Well, we have the sirens going off here for apparently a tornado warning and severe thunderstorm. I see that guy's got some leaves down over there, which isn't a surprise, but yeah. We knew there's going to be some storms. I just didn't know that it was going to be high winds also.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
We want to thank RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring this video.
We love our RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding. And you're probably saying, wait a minute, you're not in an RV here. No, we were in an RV. We were in an RV for 3 years full time. And we loved our mattress so much that when we got into a home, guess what we got? That's right, another Brooklyn Bedding product. Now, in this case, we got a pretty decent size mattress, but they have a new one. It's a Titan. It's for big and heavier people. You may want to check that out. But let me tell you some of the points that you need to be conscious of whenever you're ordering from them. You get free shipping. You get a 120-night sleep trial. Once you dial in yourself to what you want, which you should get it the first time, make calls to them. Make sure that you talk with somebody that's informative to help you out with that. You get a 10-year warranty. You get factory direct quality and price because there is no middleman. The quality's been recognized by Good Housekeeping because they received 2023's Family Travel Award because of how good they do their product. And you can dial it into being hot or cold, whatever. Again, talk with them. But more importantly, so you can get the best price on this thing, there's going to be a code down in the description, and it's going to have a link that you're going to click on to take you to their website. Once there, whatever you pick out, whenever you're checking out, make sure you use the code DAYDREAM because that code's going to give you something special. Usually, I say at that point in time, you're going to get 25% off. But if they have some sort of a sale, you're going to get a boosted deal using our code DAYDREAM. What that boosted deal is? 5% above and beyond whatever they have going on. So let's just say like 4th of July sale. I think they had 30% off. Guess what? You would get 35% off. So use the code DAYDREAM in the description. Click the link and you're going to get the best deal on the best mattress that's out there. Back to the video. Some weird stuff going on out here. The wind's changed directions a couple of times. The reason I say that is, if you look over here, look at how the brick is wet. So that means it's blowing in from that direction, right? Well, now the brick's getting wet over here. So that means it's blowing from this direction. Heidi's at work. She is technically off right now, but she said she's going to wait until this stuff stops because it could get bad. Yeah, we're getting waves of wind. Woo. Wow. Here it comes. Here we go. Everything held on. So far, so good. I don't want no more trees falling down in my backyard. So this is pretty traditional as far as rain goes and storms. Ohio, though, has moved up on the tornado list quite a bit. Not sure exactly why. It has to do with, the weather. I'm going to have to do something about the gutters. See what I'm saying? Complete different direction. That sign just flew the exact opposite way that it was going. I don't know where the sirens are. I feel real bad for our neighbor over here because I don't think you're going to be able to tell, but at the end of his driveway is a huge lake. Now, the reason there's a huge lake there is because he had a hole that was created at the end of his driveway, and he complained to the city, and he says, man, I've got this giant crater of a hole at the end of my driveway. And he says, every time I pull my car in and out, he says, you know, it's beaten up on the suspension pretty good. So the city came out and they did that patch job. Well, then he said, well, thank you for patching the hole, but all the water on the street from a certain point, which I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, it's down there a ways, right where that blue car just turned around. From that point all the way to this point down here, all the water is to run to that storm drain that's on the corner. So now that he's got that, he just makes he gets to see a big lake there. There's a big giant lake. Now the wind's blowing from this direction again, real hard. I'm telling you, it's so cold. Oh, now the wind's coming right at me. Woo! It's a strong breeze too. Yeah. I don't know. Seems like just a storm to me.
Okay.
Good morning, YouTube. It seems to be an okay day, although the weather is cloudy, it's a little rainy, but it seems temperature-wise doable. I haven't got to talk to Heidi this morning yet. It's her day off, but she has a tendency to get up before me, and not all the time, but most of the time. And then she took off and went. I think she went to get coffee, and then after that she came back, and then she left again. I think she's up at Walmart. Something that you may want to do with your significant others. Yeah, I think it's a good idea personally. Is our son and me and Heidi, we all share our locations with each other. So basically, if you guys don't know what that is, it's in Google. And if you have a Google account, which most of you do, you're watching YouTube, you can go to your location and you can share your location with somebody. Now, we've done it temporarily before, because that's kind of nice. Like if somebody's trying to find where you are and you're like, hey, I'm right, in the store, in the back corner, whatever, or I'm in this restaurant in this plaza or whatever, and you're supposed to meet up for lunch, you can share your location with that person for like just an hour, or until you turn it off if you want to do it that way. And that's what we do. We leave it on all the time. That was a peace of mind thing for when our son was traveling throughout the country. It made it easier for Heidi, instead of her calling saying, hey, where are you? What you doing? And we just left it on. And it like I said, it's convenient. It's convenient, in case there's any trouble. Which there has been. We've had situations, family situations that, polling locations, there was no communication, and there was a polling location that never changed. And luckily, we were sharing with each other. So I just checked her location, and I'm like, I wonder where she went to. And she's up at Walmart. See, it keeps me from bothering her. she's up there. She doesn't, she's doing her thing. And in case I need something, I am getting ready to work on the car. And in case she needed something, or I needed something, I'm sorry, I could call her and say, hey, on your way back, stop at Tractor Supply and pick up, this quart of whatever, because she'll be driving right past it. So it's nice. It comes in handy. I know there's a lot of people that get weird about that. I'm not sure why. It's the same with my phone. I leave it to where anybody can pick it up and look at it. Obviously, I don't want strangers to be doing that, but like if Heidi needs to call her phone because she lost it, or she just wants to be nosy or something, I don't care. Let me turn you around so you're not looking at me. So you can see the kind of day it is. Blah, blah, blah. And it's a little cooler. I probably could have wore my jumpsuit, and the reason that I say that is I got okay clothes on. I don't necessarily work clothes. And I do have to get into a kind of a tight area to change the tensioner and the belt on the car. But the garage has not gotten any better. You guys ready? This is kind of what it looks like whenever somebody says, hey, I'm interested in such and such bike. So I've got to come out here. I want to make sure that the bike is okay. It's fully charged and everything. In this case, the battery was a little bit low. So I went ahead and I charged it, the charger was warm. I wanted to put it away while it was cool. But you can kind of see now I've got stuff uncovered. Now I got to, like everybody else, they said, oh no, I found another one. Like, all right, that's fine. But the reason is I kind of stage it. That way when they say, okay, I'm on my way, I open the garage door, I take this bike, I wheel it outside with the charger, and then I close the garage door, turn off the lights and everything. Because, again, you guys saw that video. If you didn't, go back, and it was a few videos back. I mean, it's just a matter of, oh, wow, you got a lot of bikes. That's what happens. If all these bikes are uncovered, and they come in, and I go, okay, well, here's the bike you're interested in, and I start pulling it out, it never fails. They look at the bike that they're interested in for just a second, and then their eyes just start wandering. And they're like, oh, ooh, look at this one. Ooh, what's this one do? How much is this one? Ooh, why is this one bigger than that one? It's just crazy. So I wouldn't care so much if it was something that we wanted to do. Like if we said, hey, I have a whole bunch of bikes. Come down and take a look at them. But ultimately, the same thing happens then. At some point, out of every 10 people that do that, you'll get one saying, all right, let me test drive this one now. Oh, okay, that one's all right, but I think let me see what this one feels like, and then next thing you know, I have a whole bunch of bikes that have mud on them, grass on them, whatever, and they're not new. They're not a new bike with less than, 4 miles. Now they're a bike that has been ridden by 10 different people, and I just prefer not to do that. Now, if we go to a flea market of some kind, even then it's a little questionable, because what happens is a lot of the flea markets and swap meets, they have rules about electric scooters, hoverboards, segways, stuff like that being driven around while people are trying to walk and, view products for sale, tables full of stuff, their kids running around, whatever, that's how accidents can happen. So even if you're at a flea market and I set up with all the all the bikes, I can't let them test drive that stuff. Plus, what happens when I'm sitting there in my booth and I'm trying to man my booth by staying, being available for anybody, and they say, oh, let me take it for a test drive. I don't know who they are. I'm not saying that that's the way most people are. I hope that most people aren't that way. But there's always, it only takes once. It only takes once of you not paying attention for you to be a victim of a crime of any kind. And even though, this is a petty theft, it's still, if this, I have a bike over here that's like $2,000. Well, if I had a car that was $2,000 and somebody came and test drove it and left with it, never brought it back, that's called Grand Theft Auto. Whereas these bikes, they just call it petty theft. But you're still out $2,000. It's still the same thing. And you don't want to make it any easier for somebody to steal it than, you know. Again, you just have to protect yourself. The good news is I do have a tracker that can be placed on the e-bikes without anybody knowing. And I'm probably giving away a little secret here. And, you know, if they take off with the bike, I have the ability to find them. In the meantime, our son, he got a bike. I mentioned it briefly on the last video. He did get a new bike. This is something that Dick's Sporting Goods sells for like $389. And a guy at Heidi's work, I think he only wanted a couple $100 for it. So we picked it up. It came with a phone mount already, which that's kind of nice. It makes it easier for him to use that. But he went to take off to go riding, and he says, hey, my tire's flat. So I checked it out, and it was a tube issue. I tried to patch the tube. I don't know what the deal is, but tube patches are not like they used to be. You know, I'm starting to become that old man. Well, they sure don't make things the way they used to be. Well, I got a patch, and the patch seems okay itself, you know, the rubber part of things. But for whatever reason, the rubber cement, it sucked. So we ordered a couple of slime-filled tubes so he don't have to worry about that again. So I need to do that today also. However, I definitely need to get this car straightened out. And I'm telling you what, you guys seen my last little clip. This is what a $57 belt looks like. This belt, I'm telling you, I could have bought this belt in early 2000 for probably $13, $14. $57. What kind of rubber are they putting together there? I mean, I don't get it. And then the idler pulley. This is a standard Ford idler pulley. This is the kind of idler pulley that were on Fords for, I mean, so many years. I can't even begin to name how many years. I bet you it's even exposed spring. How much you want to bet? That's a lesser quality one. How much you want to bet it's a lesser open spring? Yep. Look at that. It's even an open spring. It's not even fully encapsulated. And this is $80. $80. I just don't believe it. I can't. Oh, my word. Well, here we are. It's got a new tensioner on it, a new belt on it. Unfortunately, I think there's a little tiny leaky. I don't really care for that. We'll see what that's all about. But the car's running really well now, which it hadn't before because of that miss. That's okay. You can just stay there. It's all right. Love how people just assume. So this is the roughest road in the world, almost, to tell you the truth. It's bad. It's a really, really bad here. I don't know what the deal is there. What in the world? Somebody backing up down there. That person that pulled out in front of me. I don't know who they are. So this is the bad part of our street. Now, I hate to say that because then look at this. Look how nice that house is. Right? I mean, they take care of it, but then you got this house. It looks abandoned. They're putting in some sort of park over here. And then this side of the street, on that side of the street, I wouldn't want to live anywhere, to tell you the truth. There's nowhere I'd want to live over there. So basically, I'm just taking this for a ride to see what it's like. Make sure that everything's okay, because everything felt fine except that squeak. I mean, I kept on hearing that squeak. So let's go ahead and pull out in traffic here. This is Feed the Homeless here, or Feed whoever, the undernourished, I don't know, the poverty-stricken, I guess. They serve roughly 350 to 800 meals a day from that building. There's a line of cars that just sit there, and man, it's something. So, car seems great. Man, so, I mean, you know, let go of the wheel. It works fine. It's got good power. It's quiet. It rides straight. Let's give it a little juice. It didn't kick down the first, which was good. Woo, there we go. It's nice. Delightful. The car runs, like I said, it runs pretty strong. I'm good with our purchase decision. It's just, it was a little bit more than we expected. The rack and pinion was kind of a surprise for us. We didn't think it was going to require that, but other than that, I think we're good. Look who's here. Guess what she's doing? Well, she's off work.
I went grocery shopping.
She went grocery shopping today.
Meal prepping.
Are you got something going on in the grill? No. I was gonna say because it's 150 degrees. Yeah, I thought you was gonna do the chicken.
No, I was gonna do the chicken today.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to, because we already have some chicken in the freezer, but I just put those both in the freezer.
So, I hope that people put in the comments of this last video, not this video, but the last video, what they thought happened to the squashes or whatever. Because I told them, I said, I have no idea. I said it could be a few different things.
And I'm not the only one around here that all their squash died.
Huh.
So.
I don't know what that's about.
But I really don't care about that it didn't grow. I don't care.
I got I shot video of driving the car.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. It rides good now.
That's good.
So we got the back loaded up with cardboard. Well, not completely loaded up because we have a couple more bikes coming. Then we'll load it up with that. Our son's putting the bike on the back of his car. Look how little the car is compared to the width of the bike. It's not very big. You have a little sweat bee trying to get you there.
Yeah, they don't bite.
So once this cools off, it needs to go back in, or are you cooking more on it? It goes back in the garage? All right.
I actually got your favorite in the oven right now.
Uh-oh, what's that?
Roast potatoes and carrots.
What's the opposite of Yeah.
But you'll have it for one meal.
Yeah, I'll eat it. It used to be a constant
It's just kind of
staple because it was when she worked.
It wasn't like every week, but it was quite often, and it would always be on a Friday.
It averaged almost every 2 weeks for a year. It was like every 2 weeks, but we ate it, and the whole thing is she could put it in the crock pot before she went to work, and then at dinner time,
you had dinner.
We had dinner.
You didn't starve.
Did not starve because she used to close every Friday.
Yeah.
Every Friday. For a long time.
The schedule. My schedule's all messed up. I think I close tomorrow. I go in at 10:30, but I'm gonna be working like I don't know, gazillion freaking hours next week.
We need to get a stump grinder in here if we're here much longer and get rid of those stumps so I can actually mow back around there.
Yeah, we do.
Because I can't.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 6 stumps.
I can't string trim that every single time. Uh-oh.
You can tie a rag around the tire where it hits your car.
Why is it rubbing your bumper?
It's sitting right on it.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Michael needs to get hip on the weed whacking.
Well, that's what I was just thinking. I mean, this here obviously.
Wet, so.
But I slacked off the last 2 mows. I didn't hit this with the string trimmer.
Hey people, this don't happen in 2 mows.
Yes, it does. Remember, the mows are happening much further apart now. But I have to. I've got to weed whack all that back there.
I haven't felt like.
What do you guys call it? Do you call it weed eat, weed whack, or weed whip? Because we hear all those all the time. We talk about weed eat. We usually say weed eat. We have to weed eat all this.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said whack. I've got a weed whack.
Weed whacker.
Yeah, weed whacker, weed eater, I know Weed Eater's a brand, but that'll blow off. Somebody will be all ticked off. Throwing stuff off the car. But we put those slime tubes in his bike, so should be in good shape now. Should be indefinitely, unless something drastic happens. So it's a cloud cover today, and it's been like this pretty much. And as far as I know, it's going to be like this for the rest of the day. And no rain in the forecast, which is really odd. So I think we're just going to close this little bit out because we really don't have anything going on. It's Heidi's day off. She's already done what she wanted to do, shopping and stuff. I had to put the tensioner, and I was going to put that new belt, but I wasn't happy with the new belt, and the old belt is in exceptional shape. And for $50 for a belt, $57 for a belt, yeah, she can take that back because I didn't see enough to constitute replacing that.
Remember that, people.
Yep.
When the belt breaks, you can come and get me.
She can call AAA. They'll come and get her.
No. We've always had AAA. I believe I had to come and get you once or twice.
No,
Yeah.
that's a fib. Heidi's a fibber. She's acting like she's AAA. Her initials are HLL, not AAA. All right, we're going to close this out and pick it up another day. Say bye.
Bye.
Howdy YouTube, welcome to RV Daydream. We're in another beautiful day. We've got storms that are supposed to be moving in. My grass needs cut, and I'm stuck kind of doing reviews. You can tell by the cicadas it's an awful warm day today. I really hate the fact that I can't get a mower, into this area, so that there's only one other option, and that's me coming back here with a string trimmer and just hitting it all around. And it's such a, it shouldn't be that way. I should be mowing this. Oh, look at all the butterflies. Wonder what the deal is there. Maybe I shouldn't string trim this. Looks like the butterflies are enjoying whatever's going on out here. I mean, all this string trimming here. And of course, once I do that, why wouldn't you do the front where everybody sees? Heidi's got the wagon because that's her car. I mean, she doesn't want to drive the Kia because, first of all, believe it or not, the Kia's mine. I leased it for her to drive, though. But I'll let you guys in on a little secret later. Whenever I'm free from something, you guys just need to remind me when the Kia is gone. For you guys that are diehard, watch this for a long time. When the Kia is gone and we no longer have it, which may be as late as November, remind me to tell you what the secret is about the Kia and the state of Ohio. Let's just say that. I'll just leave it at that. All right. I guess I got to get to work. There's no way around it. I might actually have to put on long pants or something. I hate doing that. It's awful warm out, but I mean, I have to string trim. My batteries are fully charged. Yeah, definitely string trim. All right. Howdy YouTube. Welcome to RV Daydream, another day. And I can almost say another day in paradise because it's been really nice out. I got something in my hand I wanted to show you guys, and it has to do with what goes on out here. Yeah, look at what goes on out here. See, this is one of the disadvantages of the garage and the way that it's set up. Heidi has a bunch of furniture that she's been wanting to refinish. Lots and lots of furniture she wants to refinish. Well, the problem with that is, room. She needs room to work. Well, I can't be taking all her, space with my garage junk. So I've got all this stuff in here, and I'm taking up a lot of the garage. Thing is I work out in the garage. I do these reviews, and it requires me to work out here. So when she wants to do something on her day off, this is what happens. Well, she didn't even want to do anything on her day off. This was our son. Our son has, kind of, he likes to do stuff too. And my Heidi says, hey, why don't you, start finishing out that furniture that I started, as far as sanding it. And this is just one of the things that Heidi picked up, and we really like this one. But the reason I came out here is talking about something that maybe you guys might be interested in. I'm walking over to the mower because I have sound protection. I have hearing protection riding this thing around. When I was younger, I remember the first time I got some sort of we didn't have a lot of money, but we would get gifts for birthdays and stuff like that. And I remember when I was, I believe, 13, and I remember the first time that I put on a set of headphones, the foam, the foam pads and the little wire that comes down here. And I had a little, it wasn't a Walkman. We can afford no Walkman. Are you kidding me? I think it was like Sound Design or something like that. One of these stores, maybe it's a JCPenney version or something. And I could not believe how good the sound was that came from those little lightweight speakers and that foam that was just over my ears. So now, mowing and stuff, I went ahead and I got these earbuds, which this is the third brand of earbuds that I went to. I've been having a problem with the other ones, and these work really well. And it's a Tozo, Tozo is the name of the company for these earbuds. And I'm surprised. They sound really good, and everything's fine with them. But they are designed to have an open air design to them. It's an open air engineering. So even though they sound good when they're in my ears and I'm, about mowing, as soon as I put my security headphones on to protect my hearing, because even though these little earbuds have some sort of active noise cancellation, it's not going to cancel out that big engine right behind me. So what I do is I put this, over my ears, over the earbuds, and it diminishes the sound, and it's always a pain because the earbuds have features in them. You can touch them to change the volume. You can, take a call, make a call, that kind of thing. I'm always wearing a watch, which I'm tired of this watch, to tell you the truth. And I can, fast forward to the next song, stuff like that on my watch. But it's just, I don't know, it's a pain in the butt. And the fact that when this is on, the earbuds, the piece that comes down wants to touch the cup of the thing, and I don't know, it's just a hassle. So Tozo, same company, out of the blue, without me saying anything, reached out and asked if I wanted to try out their headphones. Other than the earbuds, I didn't know anything about the company. Now, these things are adjustable. I don't care how big your head is. I had these things all the way out, and I guess if you have a hat on, it's not even touching up here. Even, with that, I had to squash it down quite a bit. It ain't like my head's small, just like everything else in my body. Big fat head. This is so soft. I don't know how long this is going to last. It's so soft. It is like, I don't know. It's like baby skin, to tell you the truth. Big letters inside tell you which sides R and L. There's active noise cancellation on this. You can plug in a 3.5, just regular, supply from whatever you may have if you have an old MP3 player or something. It's a USB to charge it. And plus and minus button, the on-off button, and then you have your noise cancellation button. But the thing is, they have an app. And on the app, you can do all the same stuff. That's what I choose to do. But yeah, you can see they pivot around, and yeah, I thought I'd give it a try. Man, these things are good. These are really good, and they do have the noise cancellation. So let me tell you, my experience with that is pretty good, but it doesn't cancel out everything. Like if I wear these and I go into the bathroom and I flip the light switch on, we have a fan that kicks on in the bathroom. I can still hear it a little bit, to the point where I know the fan's running. Could be a safety thing. It's a good idea that you can hear something, right? Same with the ice maker in the kitchen. I can hear the ice maker running a little bit. So it works, because if I turn it off, boy, there's all kinds of noise that comes through there. But there's different settings in the app. You can change the EQ to a bunch of preset stuff. I just thought I'd touch on them because this is one of those things that I wouldn't necessarily do a review on or anything, but I thought, I want to try it, because now I can put these on and have my music instead of these. So that's nice, because these do muffle quite a bit. They will protect my ears. I thought I'd talk about these. The link will be in the description, just because they sent them to me, and I told them I would give them a go over, and if I liked them, I said they'd make our channel, and yeah, I like them. Plus they fold up too, kind of relatively small. I don't know. Good morning, YouTube. It's another lovely day in the neighborhood. I need to open the garage door though. I don't want to talk to it today. Something smells weird out here, like chemicals or something. So Heidi was kind enough to let me know that I got an issue today. She went to work early. She's working 7 to 9:15 again. Oy. It's a beautiful day out. This morning was, the low last night though was 54. Wow, it's starting to really cool off. But there's going to be one time during this next winter season that I'm going to be going, oh my God, I can't wait. The high is going to be 50 today. So you can see Rocky number, oh my word, 14 maybe. And we had a groundhog that was just tearing up this joint this morning. And I just got a groundhog yesterday. This place is just a zoo. And man, it's the city. Look how much these things tear up around the cage. It's just amazing. So he's dug a trench by putting his paws outside the cage and just digging the whole way. Dug a big hole here. Actually pulled the cage closer to the stick. And the way it did that is it got hold of that. I don't know if you guys remember, but I used to have a rag. Well, I had a rag that was hanging there all the time. Just because, I don't even know why, to tell you the truth. And pulled that rag in, shredded it, got the door to pull up on the corner here, and bent the trap. Bent it. And pushed that rod out. Man, that's something. I'll tell you, that is something. Good morning, YouTube. It's funny, see this trim still not finished here. Yesterday, our grandson was here. We were going outside the backyard to play. He said, Grandpa, he says, you got to fix that crack. That kid's funny. Beautiful day today. What are we doing today? I think I know, but I'm not 100% sure because I've had some other stuff that was going on. Checking my traps real quick here. There's a squirrel up in the fence. I don't care about the squirrels so much. Although they can be really destructive. They've got enough trees and stuff. They don't get into anything. A beautiful day, but also a lot messier. The garden hoses moved. I wonder why. Oh my word, what happened here? What happened here? All right. So the idea was we were going to move our fence, this gate, from this location up to that location. We don't have the resources right now to do that because we want, when that happens, we want also that fence to be fixed back there. There is some talk among Heidi and I, though, that we might change it up a little bit. But for the time being, I had to do this. And what is this? Well, I tried to make it to where I could reattach the fence and the gate. Why would I want to reattach it? If I've cut it, why would I want to reattach it? Well, when I'm doing reviews out here, we like the privacy of the gate. We like it to where, oh, that little joker right there. I know you can't see him, but he's right there. Yeah. You guys think I'm kidding around about all these rodents. You see that? No, you need to move, man. You need to go. Yeah. So, I've gotten 2 groundhogs, and there's still yet a third, maybe even a fourth. I know we still have 3 raccoons. They're all just tearing up the property. Getting back to what I was saying, the reason that I did this is because when I'm doing reviews, I don't want gawkers. I don't want distractions. I don't want distractions for the viewers. So whenever I'm reviewing something in this driveway, and the camera's pointed out, that gate blocks off a lot of business that's going on out there. Plus, I don't want to advertise that, hey, our garage, look, I have a 0 turn, and I have a pressure washer, and I have a snow blower. You know, if you guys see my door open and I'm not outside, maybe you should come up here and help yourselves. Now, this isn't for the neighborhood. This is for people that might be walking up and down the street, because you guys have seen in my previous videos, even though that guy on the bike that rides up and down the street all the time, he's a really, friendly guy. You can wave to him and everything. And he, hey, how are you doing today? That kind of a guy. You could see when I put scrap metal out to the curb that I had him picking it up on his bicycle in a trash can, and another guy that had stopped previously was coming back to stop again and was kind of like, oh man, I missed it. The economy in the area is pretty depressed, and the further you go down that way, the more depressed it gets. People just driving by here that might be coming from that direction, or going down the street to go get their free meal, because again, at the end of our street, about 4 blocks down, is a Catholic mission, I guess you could say, and they give out lots of meals daily. I mean lots. I know it's over 350. So you can imagine the kind of people that are driving down the street to go get their meals. I just don't want, you don't put out opportunity when you can avoid it. You don't want to opportune yourself to theft. So that's why the gate needs to go back up. But now, back to the question, why is that gate that way in the first place? Look at this mess. This is about as organized as I can keep it with all this stuff going on in here. And it's too much. So I have this review to do today, and I have to find a home for this bike. And I need to make room for Heidi and her furniture so she can refinish the furniture. Of course, the lawn and garden equipment, you can see I've got it over here. Obviously, I've got it over there. And everything is just cluttered up. This needs to find a home. I need to organize more than I can. And here's the thing. As it stands right now, I don't see a world in which if, we keep on going this direction, that it does not get worse before it gets better. And with winter coming along, that's one thing I've always kind of prided myself on, and I always make sure, for Heidi's sake, that I have a garage straightened out for her, and the car being parked in here for the winter. That's just the thing. I've always done it. So there's no room. There's basically no room. Whew. A little bit out of breath. Can you believe that groundhog came back out here to mock me? I'm telling you, he mocked me. Had to give him a little deterrent to not be out here. All right, so we've talked it over so much, so much, and to get a real quick solution to the problem that's growing inside there, we've decided to set up these boards on the ground. You guys all know, you're all raising your hands. I know, you're all raising your hands going, I know. Yeah, this is pretty much going to be the layout for a shed to come back here. We did one of those rent-to-own things just because we don't know how long we're going to keep it. And if after maybe a year, 6 months to a year, if we're still here, at that point we'll just pay it off. I'm not paying the interest that rent-to-own requires. But it's nice because you can just at any time just walk away from it and tell them, hey, I'm not. So we're hoping that within a year's time we have something else going on. But anyways, the shed that we're getting, it was something on the lot that they had ready to deliver, because these companies are kind of sneaky. They're kind of little sneaky. Not all of them. There's quite a few that are actually legit, but you got to read the reviews. You got to find the reviews. And here's the thing, on Facebook Marketplace in our area, there's a lot of guys that will make up these goofy names. Where they're sneaky is they'll open another account with a different name. They got to do what you got to do. But as far as ripping people off, they, be aware. In the case of the other company that we looked at, the guy said on his ad, we've got hot deals ready to go right now. He did have hot deals ready to go right now, but the pictures that he showed of the sheds, those were not ready to go now. So I called up, I asked about a couple of different sheds, and he said, yeah, he says, no problem. We should be able to get that built for you in about 2 weeks. Okay, first of all, the wording was really good. I mean, good for him to use that wording. He said that they should have it built in 2 weeks. He didn't say delivered in 2 weeks. He said he should have it built in 2 weeks. Well, that could be it gets built in 2 weeks, best case scenario, because he did say should, and then the delivery could take another 2 weeks. So it could be a month. It's you got to watch yourself. Just be aware, guys. So I found another guy that I said, listen, I just want something that's available. The colors, of course, matter, but really, when it comes down to it, the structure itself matters more than anything else. We wanted it no frills. We just want it to be a building that's secure. That's all we want. Is it close? So what do you think about your shed?
How's it my shed?
It's a she
Your
shed.
shit's in it. Your shit's gonna fill it up. My car's going in here in the winter.
I know, it always does. Well, the whole reason we're running out of space is because we got furniture all of a sudden showing up in the garage.
Well, that wasn't my fault.
So I got to dig a little trench for the ramp because it's just a little bit too tall, and it is the shed is leaning a little bit.
Not much so.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
it does look pretty good. Obviously, wrong color, wrong roof, all that stuff, but
Yeah. Whatever.
well, you never know. 6 months to a year from now, we may say, we don't need the shed anymore. Don't keep it. Come get the shed.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the rent to own.
Yeah. So basically, it's 12 by 20 and it's got a loft. So there's a lot of room going on in there. Yeah, 2 lofts. So the whole thing behind this is that what if we rented a place at U-Haul? Remember we had 2 rentals and they were if they were free because we rented a trailer to get from Florida back to Ohio, and then we rented
The first month was free.
yeah, and then we rented something else.
We rented another one. We got a free truck.
Right. So the thing there was, if we were to pay for those rentals or a rental,
yeah, I forget how much they were. They were about the same price.
yeah. But here's the difference.
Maybe $20 more a month.
So here's the difference, though. It's on location here.
Yeah.
We can use it as we want.
Right.
We can. I mean, I don't have to drive to storage to go get an e-bike because,
Right.
whatever. or after I'm done a review, you know, it'd just be so much easier doing this. But yeah, now we got to load it up before it rains.
Well, we don't have to.
Well,
We should work about getting it secured.
oh, where's the key?
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. There's got to be a key in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Where's the serial number at? Or
I don't see no key.
yeah, I don't see.
Oh, I do. It's right here.
I was gonna say they should put it somewhere.
Need a socket.
Doink. One for Heidi, one for me. We got our privacy back. So the fence pretty much went back up the way that it was supposed to, with a little bit of ingenuity down here. So there's a plate and everything to take where the break was, and this moves, but unfortunately, you know, it moves pretty much with the base. But it don't affect the fence in the way it opens. You guys can see, and this one goes whee, just like before. You can see there. So again, we don't really care about this fence so much, just as long as it operates. Damn, I hate that's the bad part about these wheels, that if you're too close to the edge, they haven't changed direction yet, and they'll catch on their side. I gotta put some dirt in there. But it does its thing. Make sure I got it all the way. Yep, okay. And then I say, Heidi comes home from work. She goes, forget today. So that works. It's nice. And we do have some more room going on in here. Heidi's cooking on the grill, since it's such a lovely day out today. Yeah, I have a feeling that more of this will migrate out there. And it'll leave us in good shape for the winter. Obviously, all the bikes will migrate out there. And that will take up a lot of this space. Good morning, YouTube. It's a wonderful day outside. Not really, because it's going to rain and it looks like it's going to storm. But it's warm. It's actually really warm. And they say that after these storms come through, that we're actually going to get some nighttime lows of about 40. What do you think about that? Oh my, I can't even believe it. Well, let me flip you around. So let's start talking about stuff. And we already showed you the fence and all that going back together. I did add another brace to it. I'm sure you guys were all screaming at the camera going, wait a minute, you should do more. Yeah, didn't show that on camera. I mean, I had full intentions of putting that on there. So now it's even more sturdy than what it was before. Man, I really love this car. It's got its problems. It's got its issues. You know, it's got its dings. It's got its scratches. But overall, this is just a comfortable car. Heidi's driving this car. However, our son, he took off, like I had mentioned, he's over in Boston. So Heidi's driving his car. She likes, I don't know what it is. She likes driving that car too. But man, look, I mean, we got the whole back filled with cardboard. And the only downfall to this one is it doesn't have a rear view camera. It doesn't have all the niceties. So I added a thing that plugs into the cigarette lighter that allows for streaming of music to the stereo through its built-in FM transmitter. So we can run, put our phones up, turn them on, they connect, we turn on the radio, and we can make phone calls through the radio. There's a speaker on this little device, and it's not very expensive. However, the backup camera thing, I could have added an Android Auto, but I couldn't find anything that didn't take up a lot of real estate on the dash. And we like to use that Garmin GPS in addition to our Waze. The problem is the Garmin GPS with that Android Auto screen would take up just way too much of the dash and the windshield. If I was to put the Android Auto screen in the stereo area of the car, I'd have to buy a $40 dash kit. I'd have to do some hardwiring, and then the screen would block the air conditioning. I just couldn't get around it any other way. So the nice thing about the Garmin RV785, which I talked about that with a lot of you guys, and I hope that some of you decided to go that route. Of course, they don't even make the RV785 now, but a lot of us have RV785s that work just fine, and they're very, very good. Well, the RV785, the nice thing about it is it has a dash cam built in all the time. You guys have seen videos that we have shown you, and it's captured stuff because it's always in the window, it's always running, and it's always, there's always video there. I just have to save it. And the nice thing about that GPS is you just say, okay, Garmin, save video, and it just saves it. It's all voice activated. Same with your trying to get directions. You just say, okay, Garmin, find address, and then you just say the address, and then it'll usually find it. If not, you might have to type it in. But the nice thing about it was you could add up to 3 other cameras to that, and they were all wireless cameras. Well, since we use the dash cam all the time, I thought, you know what, it's time for me to go ahead and spend that $70 and buy that BC35 camera, and we'll install it on the station wagon. That way we have a backup camera. Little did I know that Garmin quit making that BC35 a while ago. Well, the issue with that is now the people that have them, they're selling for like $200, $120, $180 used. And now you can't get the camera that'll show you what's going on behind you. But I got a solution to that, which is nice. Garmin did think about this ahead of time, I think. The nice thing that I always liked about the RV785 GPS and dash cam is, of course, the dash cam built in, but more importantly, this magnetic mount. This big square that I'm pointing at here, that's just a magnet. So there's no clipping or clicking or button pushing or anything like that. The GPS just goes up there and it clicks in place, or just magnetically connects, and it's very solid. We've never had any issue with it. But you could see, I don't know, maybe you can't. There's a lot of glare. Look at that 3.5 jack. See that sticking out the side there? Closest to us, that cable. Let me see if I can point to it with my thumb. Right there. That is a port to allow a Garmin cable that cost about $16 to plug in and give you an RCA output. And that RCA output, or input in this case, you can buy a camera that is just a standard camera like this. Now this will mount on the back of the car on the license plate. You can mount it in a bunch of other places. They give you a little mounting kit, but it'll allow you to mount the camera on the back and run a cable. Now there's the bad part. You do have to run a cable. However, I already tried it out before I went through all the trouble of running everything. And as soon as you put the car in reverse, if you power this by cable harness that came with the camera kit, you just scotch lock into one of the backup lights. And then every time that backup light comes on, it automatically powers this little camera. And as soon as this little camera gets powered, it goes through the cable and the GPS switches immediately to a rear view, scene. So you can see on the dash you backing up. Because Heidi said she loves the car, but she has a little bit of trouble seeing when she's backing up. And obviously, you see we back up in the driveway all the time. We always like to make sure we're reversed in here. But I'll talk about that later. We'll show a little bit more details. I'll give you the links to it so you guys can go with that. Now, I have a couple of bikes that I've done reviews on. This one here, the headlight quit out of the blue. Just quit. Now, they said they were going to send me another one. I just got one from Amazon. It came the very next day. I checked it out. It works fine. I just have to finish up the wiring here, make it look nice and neat. Yeah, I'll be done with that. This one here, I'm doing a review on, and this bike looks to be really good first time deal for me. Now, I've never heard of this company, King Bull. I didn't know anything about it. I was actually supposed to get another bike that they offered, but they said they were out of stock on them. So they asked if they could send this instead. I didn't read any specs or anything on it. And I said, yeah, sure. Folding bikes are okay. That's something that a lot of the RVers look at. That's why we did a review on this folding bike. That's why we did a review on that folding bike. I'm sure there's a couple more in there. And the thing is when I got it, the rear tire was deflated. No big deal. I thought, okay, I'll just put the pump on it and I'll inflate it. The problem was I was kind of busy and I walked away. And when I came back, I saw that I didn't have the tire seated in the rim when I started inflating. So the tube was pushing out the side. Yeah, that was like, holy cow, it's like a gunshot. I think I heard the neighbor actually make some noise, wanting to know what we were doing over here. I kind of thought I heard him in the distance, but yeah, that was, so I got tubes. I got to put a tube on there. One of those things. These are the things that I talk about. Everybody said, oh, it's so nice that you get these bikes sent to you and stuff. Well, I said, yeah, I guess, sort of, whatever. There was something else I was doing. Oh, so I'm coming out here today because I think I want to head out into our shed. Go figure that out. I need to look at, yeah, I've got so much wood up there. Jeez, look at it all. What I'll do is I'm going to pull a board out of there, a pretty good size board, maybe a couple of them, maybe even 3 of them, 4 of them. And I'm going to put them up inside the shed. And that's because I've got some hooks that are coming from Amazon, so I can hang up stuff in here, because I'm going to run out of space real fast if I don't. Smells like a shed in here. Shed. I said shed. Oh, you guys laughing about that. But yeah, we started putting stuff in here, and it's like, man, there's things that, like all the utensils here, they could hang up. Technically, some other stuff, like if I'm not mistaken, that electric lawnmower has got a hook on it somewhere if you want to hang it up. Of course, the leaf blower, it can hang up. The string trimmer can hang up. But I figured what I'll do is I'll get some wood pieces here that will allow the hooks, when they come in, that I can just mount them anywhere instead of just, oh, hey, I'll put a hook here and I'll put a hook here. Maybe I'll put a hook here. Maybe I could just put the hooks up there. Well, that won't work for the string trimmer though, necessarily. Depending on how big the hook is. Maybe I'll just wait. I mean, I got the wood, I got the screws. It's not like I can, I don't have to wait. But I thought today, like I had mentioned, I want to, I think, move the zero turn over a little bit, just a little bit. Good morning, YouTube. I'm already outside, and Sully, if you're watching, take note. The baggy's out. Oh, sad, sad, sad. Today, I don't know what the deal is, but those dew points dropped like they said, but the temperatures dropped also. I didn't know that was part of the deal. I think today's high is 66 maybe, and tomorrow's high I think is 64, maybe 65. Then we get back up into the 70s again, but these dew points don't really climb too much. So although I have shorts on still, I definitely needed a jacket. If it's below 70 degrees, I have a hard time with not having something on my arms keeping me warm. I still have 3 bikes that need to make it into the shed. However, I'm putting an extra additional security lock on the shed. The camera that I have on there works really well. And today, there's a chance of rain. I do have to leave out of here. I need to take off, go do a return down at Staples, and then take this cardboard and get rid of it, including that recyclable styrofoam. But, it's not raining, I guess. I guess that's a plus. Wow, am I a dummy. I was in there editing video and uploading video and sending emails to affiliate programs. And how many of you have ever boiled all the water out of a pot before it is boiled all the way? I heard something crack really loud, and I was in the office, and our house don't put noise throughout. Like when Heidi's in the kitchen, she can hardly hear what I'm saying when I'm in the living room. And I was not only out of the living room, but I was in the office around the corner. Anyways, I heard this thing go crack really loud, and I cracked the handle. I don't know if you can see that, but man, I pretty much ruined this pot, which we use all the time for tea. Man, what an idiot. Well, if there's any silver lining whatsoever out of this, that cracked handle does not make a difference. The operation is just fine. I did everything I could to make it come loose. It wouldn't. And since we've always boiled tea in this pot, it was really hard to get the stains out. I mean, I've scrubbed and soaked it, and we've done everything. Guess what? If you get that pot to the point where it's expanded and to a site that it hasn't seen before, it's not too hard for it to come clean. This is the cleanest this thing has been in a long time. So, like I said, I guess there's a silver lining to it.